Man, oh man, ratings this week, oh my god. I felt I had to make a video about this for, like, the Elite Heat channel, because I'm looking at these numbers, and, like, my guy, 1.62 million for Raw, 1.62, and NXT gets 698,000 viewers, with a 0.13 in the 18 to 49. A 0.13. Like, this video, very spur of the moment, very impromptu. I've just got to address this because, look, if you've been following my content, the content on this channel, really just, if you have more than 3 brain cells, you're fairly cognizant as to why numbers are where they are at the moment. Let's look at Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw this past week was rematch after rematch after rematch. And then they had Riddle versus Xavier Woods, and then rematch, and then rematch, and then rematch. And the main event is Natalya and Tamina against, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the women's tag titles. And that's your main event for an episode of a 3-hour weekly episodic show. I mean, it's no surprise the ratings are down. I've seen people... This is one of these things I've seen with more so like the AEW type crowd, but generally with just wrestling ratings in general, blaming the NBA. Oh my god, NBA playoffs are on right now. Okay, first of all, how many people do you think avidly watch the NBA and avidly watch wrestling? There's hardly any crossover there. How about you look at the fact that these shows aren't like appealing to watch. These aren't appealing to watch shows. NXT's rating proves that more than anything. 698,000 viewers. So they couldn't even crack 700,000 viewers going unopposed. There's no AEW, there's hardly any playoff games that are really that compelling at the moment. Like, my god. Like, NXT last night was live during the Celtics and the Nets. So if you're going to blame the NBA playoffs on NXT's rating, I mean, my god, the Celtics and the Nets was a scrimmage. Nets are up 30 at half. And you're going to blame that for NXT not even cracking 700,000 viewers and drawing 0.13 in 18 to 49. The 18 to 49 is the demographic that's going to be watching those NBA games. The 18 to 49 is the demographic who's either not going to be watching wrestling, going to be watching the NBA games, watching like combat sports, actually having a social life, going out. That's that crowd. And 130,000 people watch it in that demographic. That is dire. That is dire, dude. Like, there's no market for NXT, realistically. I mean, the audience there is 50 plus, or just like diehard nerd crowds. Like, that's NXT's audience. Raw isn't much better. People watch Raw out of basically habit, and even then, I don't even know who would honestly want to sit through 3 hours of this nowadays. Like, my god. So you've got WWE with ratings like this. AEW's ratings nowadays are around 850 to 900-ish, around there. AEW, they're not cracking 1 million for a little while. Like, I think they had that little run where they got 1.2, 1.1. Then I think now they're going to be back to 900,000. NXT's, they can't crack 700,000. That's with Cross vs. Balor for the NXT title, mind you. That's legit, like, the biggest match in that brand. And they couldn't crack 700,000 viewers. Like, yeah. And there's no excuse for that. Joe Harris scoring 22 points in the first half against the Boston Celtics. Wrestling fans are rushing off to watch that live. Like, what? What? So, dude. Like, looking at these numbers is just deflating. And I'm like, well, it is deflating. Then you think about what products Raw, NXT are putting out. And it's like, really, it's not surprising. Because, I mean, Raws are giving you legitimately nothing fresh. Nothing new is happening on Raw. Seriously, this past episode of Raw, what happened on that show that you're going to remember in, like, tomorrow, next week, a month from now, 6 months from now? What? Riddle hitting a bodgy-looking RKO on Xavier Woods. What else happened on Raw? Shayna Baszler yelled at Reginald to close the show. We got Big D, Drew McIntyre against Kofi, and the match was having no finish. Like, what in that show is going to make people want to watch next week? And so they get 1.62 million viewers. That is completely justified. That's completely reasonable, considering that show they put on. It surprises me they don't get lower. So, yeah, Raw's ratings, where they go from here, I've predicted they're going to be drawing 1.3 by the end of the year. Do they draw 1.3? I mean, if they do 6 to 7 more months of shows every Monday night, like this one they did this past week, yeah, 1.3 is very realistic, considering how bad and just dry these shows are. There's no reason to watch it. There's no reason to watch these 3-hour shows. So that's Raw. NXT, as I said, Cross and Balor for the NXT title, and they can't even crack 700,000 viewers unopposed. And people are going to say that NBA playoffs is a competitor, when the NBA playoff game that was combating it, supposedly, was the Nets leading Boston by 30 in the first half. It was a 25-point game, literally at the beginning of the second quarter, just about. Like, come on. NXT can't draw 700,000 viewers with the NXT title match featuring Balor and Cross, and a fairly good show full of good matches. They can't even draw 140,000 18 to 49 viewers. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's ratings talk this week. WWE wrestling ratings, my God. Wow. So that's been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, sub. Peace.